When I started trading, I thought Forex would make me rich fast, and instead I just kept losing money. I'd spend hours staring at charts and chasing trades and trying to outsmart the markets. And for a while, I thought maybe I just wasn't cut out for this. But then I realized something. Trading wasn't the problem. I was the problem. And once I made a few changes to how I trade, I went from earning over 6 figures in trading Forex. So in this video, I'm going to jump on the charts and I'm just going to give it to you. So let's head over. So Smart Charts is going to be my preferred trading platform. New workspace. So the first thing I would probably do, or I will do, right, is pick a few pairs. So the easiest way to begin is to just focus on the majors. Let's just pick the majors. So euro, dollar, right? I'm just going to put a tick here. Just hear me out and understand this, right? I'm going to pick pound dollar, euro dollar, and I know what some of you are probably thinking is experience, but you need to diversify and offset. Listen, it doesn't matter about any of that. You guys ain't got billions or millions on the management. If you did, then that's a whole different conversation. Let's just get consistent. Now, what I really want for you guys to do is just get consistent, right, in picking direction. I know I'll say it and I'll say it again. So all I'm doing here, right, I'm just getting all the major pairs. So what we got? We got Aussie dollar, euro dollar, pound dollar, New Zealand dollar, dollar CAD, dollar yen, dollar Swiss. Now, everything links to the dollar. Now, if the dollar goes up, if the dollar strengthens overall, you want to buy dollar CAD, dollar Swiss, and dollar yen, and you want to sell Aussie dollar, euro dollar, pound dollar. If the dollar decreases, you want to buy pound, euro, Aussie, and you want to sell New Zealand, and you want to sell dollar CAD, dollar Swiss, dollar yen. So I'm just going to pick euro dollar as is my favorite pair, or regardless. Now, the first thing I want you to do is just get a daily time frame. You know what? Just get a monthly time frame. And I like to use candles because when we start talking about candles can be very, very powerful. Believe me, they are powerful tools. They are like programming language for the charts. These are the only technical analysis tools, or whatever you want to call it, right? Some people call it price action. These are only technicals I use. Candlesticks, yeah? Because I've got over a decade in experience, and over the years I can see through everything, like the Matrix. However, just trust me in what I'm saying. So just start with this. Now, understand this, time frames. Each bar on a monthly time frame represents 1 month. So when a bar opens, right, it opens at the beginning of the month, it will go up and down for 1 month, and then it will close. So we can see this current bar opened at the beginning of January on the left. And if I press this I here, it will say, look, this bar's got 10 days until it closes and a new bar opens. So it's going to go up and down for 30 days, essentially. Well, it's not 30 trading days. It's about 20, 22, 24, depending on how the weeks play out. But you got the idea, right? Let's just say 20 as a benchmark, ballpark or benchmark number. Now, once you got this, right, what I want you to start doing is using a vertical line and start narrowing down what you want to focus on. So from here, just press Control B. And as you can see, I can see last year's data. So this is last year's data presented in monthly intervals. Okay, this is last year's data presented in monthly intervals. Now, here's a little tip. Okay, let's just take the last quarter. So if that's December, that's a quarter. Now, if you put a line on each bar, it will snap to the beginning of the month of that bar. So if I now go to a weekly time frame, you're going to see the past 3 months and the current month. All right. So the tip here is using vertical lines and snapping them on the candlestick or the bar, but your chart should automatically snap it. So now I've snapped the end of Jan. So here, from here to here, as I go down in lower time frames, I'm going to be able to focus on what I want to look at, because essentially technical analysis is using past data to speculate forward. Now that I've done that, let's go to a weekly chart. So as you can see here, how many weeks do you have in 1 month? So again, I've got the past 3 months worth of data now being presented to me in weekly intervals. Each bar will open and close at 1 week a time. That's all it's doing. Remember, a chart is just giving you price action or past data in bar formats in specific interval times. It's nothing more than that. So if you look at this little tip here in the system, you see how powerful a vertical line is to visually narrow what you want to look at. This goes to the most important question I want you to think of. Ready? What are you analyzing for? I'll say it again. I'll say it again, and I will keep saying it. I say it day in, day out to anyone I coach. I always say, what are you analyzing for? That question alone will allow you to narrow down your focus and funnel down and be able to say, well, instead of chasing the trade idea, if I'm analyzing and I'm analyzing for a specific period, doesn't mean I need to trade now, but I can organize myself to trade when that setup may occur, right? Think about performing. You start planning, you start positioning, and you perform when the market presents what you're looking for based on your clarity of what you're analyzing for. Let's dive down a little bit more into this. So, as we can see here, this is the beginning of Jan, right? So let's say, for example, I want to analyze for February, okay? So we're halfway through Jan and I want to analyze for February. So I put a vertical line which will snap on the next bar, next here. So the line should automatically snap on the time frame bar. So as you can see, it keeps snapping. So each bar represents 1 month. So automatically, when I go down to lower time frames, we can see, look, this is the first month, that's the second month. Now, let's say we remove these old lines that we don't need of the last 3 months. And let's say my question is, I want to analyze for the next month. So now you have to make a decision on how you want to trade. So if I ask you a question now, do you think we should be a buyer in February or do you think we should be a seller? So a trader will then go to the chart, will zoom all the way out, and some begin. I'm not against it. And then they draw a line here and they say, oh, we should be sellers. Oh, the market's going to come back to that trend line. It's going to go down. But then another trader's like, oh, no, but this is forming this and this could be buying. And another trader's going to be like, oh, but it's forming a triangle. And so and so. And then you have an online world where everyone's got a method with beautiful visual drawings, trying to present to you that their idea is the best, and you're sitting there like, what the should I do? Right? Yeah, you know. I know you know. We've all been there, right? So now, computer. So as we move to this, I am on a weekly time frame. So each bar is going to represent 1 week. Now, as a beginner, it is quite difficult, or for anyone in a starting stage. I even think some people intermediate advanced can't even analyze for the next 30 days. You'd be surprised. It's a very important skill. If you can do that, well done. But let's just make it a bit more easier. Let's analyze for the week. The easiest way and the most effective way is this. I've been doing it for so long. I've coached so many traders. They follow this as a beginner's framework, and they come to me at like the end of after like 2 months, maybe 3 months, and they said, aha, I get it. Sometimes you walk, right? You're walking down the road and you're like, oh, that's when he meant when he said, right, look for a re-entry on the pullback. Oh, that's when he meant saying, all right, well, what you trading this week? And I'm out here trying to scan 30 pairs when one guy just said, I'm focusing on the euro dollar because of ABC. Like, it comes and it will click. Okay. So just use this video as a guideline because this is where it's happening. Trust me. I'm going raw today. Now, what we got here is, like, even this alone, this pattern, I can see buyers coming in, I can see sellers regardless. But my main objective here is now, if you put another vertical line, this is the current week, this is next week. All right, so now I'm going to say the key question you're going to ask yourself, right, is what are you analyzing for? Your key thing is you're analyzing for the following week. You're analyzing for the next 5 days, starting with the daily time frame. Just write this down. You're analyzing for the next 5 days. And your job is to make a direction, whether you want to be a buyer this week or you want to be a seller this week. How we choose to execute upon it will vary, okay? Will vary. But in this case, just get that question right, please, for me. I don't want to keep saying the same thing on the same video. Come on, you want some more magic. Let's get this part right. There's levels to this. Very easy to go watch another video that says advanced. This is not advanced. It might look advanced, but it's not. It's called logical thinking. Something that Trump might bring back, but who knows? Might get a controversy on this video in the comments for saying this. Listen, let's just keep politics out of it for a second, all right? Now, as we break this down, I want to change the color of this so we don't get confused. And this line represents this week, and we bring that down here. That's going to represent next week. So if we now go down to the daily, you are now analyzing for the next 5 days. So this is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So today's Tuesday. So we've got 2 bars for this week. And that's so far what's happened this month. So what we do, we got 5 days. So now they'll be like, okay, let's put a weekly high, weekly, all this. Now, for this week, now I'm going to ask you a question. Where do you see the market going this week? So a trader might say, oh, we could see this going on. Market's made a break of structure, higher high, higher low. This could go back up here. Then a trader will be like, another trader might say, oh, okay, this looks like a resistance. Okay, market's going to react there. So I'm thinking the market's going to go lower and go further down. So I'm looking to be a seller. Now, let's say that's your idea, right? Let's just say that. We're all looking to be a seller for this week on euro dollar. All right. Now, if that's the case, another little tip is get the vertical lines and snap it. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and that makes a week. So we put that there. Now, the reason why I do this, if you're going to be an intraday trader, we jump straight down to the 1 hour time frame. Now, if you look, you've got now visual representation on where you can begin organizing yourself and filtering down the best possible trade. So if we're all thinking about being a seller, you would have come on Monday and be like, oh, I need to sell, but the market goes up. Tuesday, oh, I need to be the seller, but the market's got up. Oh, but the market's resisting, I need to get in. Let me use another indicator that's going to give me something, but nothing comes. You might add an RSI or a MACD, or you search, what's the leading indicator? What indicator could tell me this? Understand this. If your job is to be a seller this week, so you've got 3 more days left to look for a sell trade, what is the ideal setup you want to trade in this direction? That's it. Any technicals should essentially work if you got the direction right. Think about it. So in this case, let's say I'm going to take a strategy here and I want to trade, what have I got access to? Let's say I like the pip runner, right? And I go to pip runner and I go to euro dollar. Now you look at it in this week, all I've got to wait for is for the technicals of this specific trading strategy to alert me a trade idea to trade in that direction. Yes, that's it. For an example, in the following week, let's just say I thought I wanted to be a buyer. So I'm just going to put a period separate on here, daily. And let's go back in the next 5 days. Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. So that was last week. Okay. And let's say in that week, I was expecting the market to pull up. My job then out of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, Friday is to catch one good trade in the direction based on the technical requirements on this specific system. Not all systems have to sync. Right? Whether you're a moving average or you had a pivot point or you had a Fibonacci or you had a stochastic or RSI or whatever you want to add or your macros, all of those become specific ways for you to make a decision. Like your life, you all have some process that's the same, right? You all get up, you all go to bed, you go wash your clothes, you go, you make money, you eat food, you do the same fundamental foundation, but some people do it more effectively than the other. So I hope you're getting the idea. Okay. I hope you're getting the idea. The whole objective here for me today was to get you to understand, like, you don't have to struggle anymore. Just take this concept, analyze for the week ahead, use vertical lines and narrow down. Just pick one of the pairs out of the majors. They move, they're low spread, you get access news to them quite easily. Everyone's always talking about them. The dollar's always the easiest because the dollar is king. And now Trump's in place, the dollar's definitely going to be great, especially with the tariffs. So look, if you are struggling to stay consistent, okay, I put together this video so you can watch it to help and stay on track and keep watching it. And I've helped you define your elements of what you can do and the tools you can add. All I'm going to say to you, ladies and gentlemen, watch this video again and again and again. And there are other videos on this channel that synergize with the concept what I've spoken about today. So do take your time out and make sure you watch them. See you soon.